Hello everyone, this next game was played in the 2016 US Championship, and although Fabiano Caruana won that event 1 full point ahead of Hikaru Nakamura and Wesley So, in my opinion Wesley So played the most beautiful game of the tournament, and also won the 2017 US Championship. And this game Wesley So is white, and he's playing against Varuzhan Akobian, another very strong American Grandmaster, originally from Armenia. So let's see this game. We have e4 by Wesley and e6 by Akobian. d4, d5, the French defense. We have knight c3, d captures on e4, knight captures on e4, knight to d7, knight to f3, knight g to f6, knight captures on f6, knight captures on f6, and now c3. We have c5 by Akobian. He wants to exchange one of Wesley's central pawns. So we have bishop to e3. And now he plays c captures on d4 and bishop captures on d4, and he did manage to grab Wesley's central pawn, but this bishop is now an extremely strong piece. So far no Akobian's pieces can oppose it. So we have bishop to e7 and now bishop to d3, another very good bishop, and now both bishops are eyeing that king side very nicely. We have castles by Akobian and queen to c2, kind of harassing that h7 pawn. So Akobian plays h6. We have queenside castle by Wesley So and queen to a5, attacking that a2 pawn. So Wesley plays king to b1, and here we have rook to d8. Wesley plays knight to e5, and we have bishop to d7. And in this position, of course, Wesley does not want to capture this bishop on d7, even though that would give him a bishop pair. But this knight is a monster, and this bishop, well, it's not really doing anything. If Wesley will want to, he will exchange it when it comes to c6, if he decides to. So we have queen to e2, and now bishop to c6. And here Wesley again doesn't capture the bishop, but he plays rook h to e1. He invites Akobian to capture this pawn on g2 and give him an open g line. But Akobian plays bishop to d5, now attacking this a2 square. And here Wesley pushes c4, and again he dares Akobian to capture the pawn on g2. And in this position Akobian does capture it. He plays bishop captures on g2. And well, Wesley does want to put his rook to g1 and occupy that strong g file, but first he has to get his own bishop out of harm's way, so he plays bishop to c3 with the tempo on the queen. We have queen to b6, and now he plays rook to g1. And like I said, this was played in 2016 US Championship between two very strong grandmasters, and when you're playing black in this position, you do realize white has an open file for his rook, but you're not thinking that something could really go wrong here. I mean, it's 2016. There are no any more blistering attacks with sacrifices and things like that. And he doesn't really feel the danger here. If he felt the danger here, he would probably retreat with the bishop to maybe h3. You know, just so he could defend e6 and help up with the protection of the king. But Akobian played bishop to c6 here. And here Wesley finds a very romantic idea, and he plays knight captures on f7. And this is the critical position of the game. And knight captures on f7 does have its objective value as a move, but it also has a psychological value. And if Akobian had his composure here, he could probably find a better defense than capturing the knight. For example, he could play a rook captures on d3. And well, this would allow knight captures on h6 with check, king to f8, and now rook captures on d3, and simply pinning this rook with a bishop. And although white is better in this position, this is playable for black. It's not lost. But like I said, knight f7 does have its psychological value as a move, and Akobian decided to capture the knight. He plays king captures on f7. But this allows Wesley another very romantic idea. He plays rook captures on g7 with check. And I think Akobian realized now what was going on. He does have to capture the rook. If he tries to refuse the offering of a rook, like with something like king to f8, he would get queen captures on e6. And now Wesley would be threatening checkmate on e7 and on f7, and black cannot stop both threats. So after rook captures on g7, Akobian played king captures on g7. And now the whole point of the of the two sacrifices, Wesley plays queen captures on e6. And now you can see how these two bishops are extremely strong. There is nothing to protect black's king. Wesley is threatening queen captures on e7 with check, and also an even greater threat is rook to g1 check. So here Akobian gets an idea that, well, maybe I should give something back, just, you know, to keep me alive, and he plays queen captures on f2, not allowing the rook to go to g1. But this is already a finished game, and Wesley finishes it quite nicely. He plays queen captures on e7 with check. We have king to g8, and now Wesley plays bishop to h7 check, and it's over. In this position, Varuzhan Akobian resigned because black is without a move. You can't really capture the bishop with the knight, because then queen to g7 would be checkmate. And the king has nowhere to go. So if you would play something like king to h8, then simply bishop captures on f6, and it's all over. Black has to part with his queen, and this is with check. So after king captures on h7, you would get queen to d7, e7 check. And, well, both rooks will fall, and this is, well, Akobian doesn't want to allow this, so after bishop to h7 check, Akobian resigned. So yeah, a beautiful game, and a very nicely played tournament by Wesley. So, like I said, it's like Morphy played this game, not a modern player. And like I said, he didn't win first place. He won the US Championship 2017. But in my opinion, this is the best game of the tournament. Well, in my opinion. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this game. I surely did, and you can check 2 of my previous videos here if you missed them. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.